Welcome back to LivAnimated.com. Let's learn something new. We left off last working on the eyebrow and the eyes of the face, along with texturing the eye so that it looked correct when we were inside of our engine, which is the Unreal Engine. What we're going to be working on tonight is the lower part of the face and working on getting the jaw and the smile, the tongue, the teeth, all weighted to their appropriate joints. So let's go on over to Maya. We're going to be working in our latest scene. So if you navigate over to where you've been saving everything, you should have your latest file, which is, for me, it's 20. It could be something else for you. We're going to open that up. The reason why we're going back to these files is because since we didn't have a vert or vertices weighted to all the joints when we exported it, it's going to look like those joints don't exist. So with the tool, what we're going to do is we're going to go back in here and add them at this phase, redo our skinning, and make sure everything is good, and we should be fine. I'm also going to take you through the process of getting the character into Unreal and testing out our work. So what we want to do is after your file is loaded up, we're going to go into Rig Creator. So you want to open up Rig Creator. Once we're inside of Rig Creator, we are going to, we can close our outliner. We're going to zoom into the face. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have our mesh selected. We are going to go into vertex mode. Once we're in vertex mode, let's actually hide our joints so they're not in the way when we start selecting things. And what we're going to do first is we are going to select the lower part of the mouth. As you can see here, I'm moving my mouse around, we're going to select all these verts right here, and we're going to first put them to the jaw. Putting them to the jaw first is going to be a good way of separating out the mouth. And then we're going to open up the jaw and set a key. So let's do that right now. So right now what we want to do is let's go to more of a profile view, and let's just select all these verts over here. Don't worry about if you're selecting the tongue correctly or not, or the teeth correctly or not. We're going to fix all that. Once we are able to see inside the mouth, it's going to make things a lot easier. So you can rotate to the other side. And then we're shift clicking so that we retain our selection. And we just want to stay on this line. We're going to have to blend between this line or this row of segments and the row above it. But for now, we're going to just focus on not going above that row, because you see how the lip line is right here. You see these two, this row and this row. We want to stay on the lower row to start. Again, this is the same way you would do it with any other character that you're gonna weight the mouth. This may be a different way of doing it. Everybody has a different process. That doesn't make any one process better than the other. It's about getting the end result, which is good deformation of the mouth for doing lip syncing. And so I'm just selecting the lips. And once you have a base selected, a base selection set, we're going to add that to joint. To start, we're going to add that to joint. So go over to your skin joints location over here and scroll down. It should be lower in the hierarchy. We're going to put this to the jaw. So right here to the jaw and click 1. All right, good. Once we have that, let's go ahead and go back to object mode. Let's unhide our joints. Let's open up outliner. Shift click on the root, and we're going to look for jaw in here. So joint jaw. What we want to do is we want to set a key. Set a key on 0. Let's put this to like 30. So our timeline is more manageable. Let's go to frame 10, set a key, switch it over to rotate, and we're going to rotate on the Z axis to bring the jaw down. So we're going to bring the jaw down. That's pretty good. And then hit S again to set a key. So now when you move between these 10 frames, you see the jaws moving. All right. So what we're going to do now is we can go out of our selection here, close our outliner again, hide our joints, select the mesh, go back to vertex mode, go to frame 10. Everything's moving to joint jaw. What we want to do now is get the rest of these joints to be in the right, have the right influence. We may have to go inside of our wireframe mode. Yes, we will. All right. So this is where it can get a little confusing, but if you can follow those segments up, you can see which row of verts also belongs to the lower lip. And then follow that on over. And we can start setting these to 1 right away. If you scroll back down over into your skin joints, select jaw again, put that to 1. And you can see it moves those over to 1. Let's go back here. So now he's got to keep, it's almost like sculpting a little bit. You got to keep the rest of it going back down to 1 as well. So what I'm going to do is go back to wireframe and continue doing this. So I'm going to show you this whole process. I'm not going to cut anything out. I don't want to, you know, a lot of times tutorials people will be like, oh, let me show you this. And then they'll cut it out and then they'll come back to everything looking great. And you're like, what the hell? So the time it takes me to do this should be roughly the time it takes you to do this. I'm not trying to go slow or fast or anything. I'm just trying to take you through the process. If this was something I was tasked with to do at work, this is what I would be doing. I would be making sure that I'm getting this to look as best as possible. And taking my time to make sure it works, because however you get it working or whatever you do now, this is what you're going to be working with. So you want to make sure that you get this looking as best you can so that you can then do your animations well. Or if anyone else is using it, they can do their animations well. And we'll also address the teeth and everything also. So let's not be too concerned about that. We just work on getting the lips to be separated out. There's a lot of topology in here, you'll notice. We'll blend some of this to be like a 50-50 instead of doing this hard 100. But for now, we're just going to leave it as a hard 100 until we get everything positioned where we can see it better. So yeah, so just take your time, get this looking right, and that's all I'm working on right now. Selecting it and adding it to the joint jaw, so that we can move on to the next phase of getting the mouth set up correctly. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it, and then come back when you get better acclimated with what we're actually doing right here. And just take your time. All right, now let's fix this center part. A lot of times you'll see, even like back in the day with some of these models, some of the modelers would be working so close with the lips touching that they'd end up welding some of the verts together, making it difficult. And then you're like, oh, these are welded. They got to go back and separate the mouth and update the UVs and crazy. It's very rare to run into that now in the industry with how things are done. But back in the day, you get those issues all the time from modelers not being able to decipher which vert is what, and then they just like welding everything that's like a 0.01 distance, a 0.001 distance away, thinking that it's going to be fine, and you don't realize it until you get ready to get to the rigging process, and you're like, this has been messed up for a while, man. What's going on? So let's get these teeth out of here. We should be able to, since the teeth are all separate, we should be able to go into our wireframe. We're going to put the lower jaw. We're going to put the lower set of teeth to the jaw. So you can just do your one selection and do a shift period. And that'll do a selection of everything. We're going to put that to the jaw as well. So joint jaw 1. That should help us out a little bit. For now, is that the tongue? That is the tongue. Let's put the whole tongue to the jaw for now too. That way we can make sure that's out the way. Now we should be able to better see our lips, the rest of our lip vertices. All right, let's go back to here. That looks better. All right, cool. Looks like we got some stray verts back here. Let's put these to the head. That went to jaw. These probably got selected when we were doing our selection for the outer mouth, the outer lip cheek area. So we're going to put these back to head. Let's get all this fixed the way we want. All right, all our teeth are correct. Let's double check. Head, okay. All right, cool. We do have tongue joints. We'll do that later. That looks correct. All right, cool. So right now, we have our mouth set up. We're not done with it by any means, but we do have it set up in a way where now we can start blending between our other joints and then moving those joints around. Now, let's see. Let's blend and let's start with making the cheeks, the outer part of the mouth. Let's make sure that looks good first, and then we'll start working our way into all the rest of the lips and so on. So let's do this row of segments. Let's just do the outer part. We're going to blend these with the mouth. And we'll blend some of these with the mouth too when we start working on the smile. But let's select the same verts on the other side. I think that's where I stopped. And we're going to blend this with the head. These also get blended with the cheek later, but let's do a 50-50. Let's do 25. And then for these upper ones, we're going to do a 25 for the jaw. Select the jaw, let's do a 0.25. All right. And we can blend more later, but for right now, we're going to leave it like that. So now we need to go back and get more of the controllers involved and start moving them around. Let's see. Let's look at our joint placement. All right. So looks like we have, this is our lower corner and our upper corner. So we have 3 in the middle. Oh man, we got 3 in the middle, 2 on the outside. All right. So let's go back. Vertex mode. We pretty much want these segments to be on there. So we're going to leave this middle segment. We need to put this actually to, let's open up our outliner. We're going to want to put that to our, oh, we can close outliner. We can do it all over here. Hide our joints again so we can see things better. Let's select these verts right down the center of the lip. All the way to the vert that's in here. Wireframe. You guys see that vert? It's right there. I'm hitting F. There you go. So now we can focus on it. All right, that looks good. What we want to do is we're going to put these to the center lip. And that's going to be joint. See, what do we call it? Joint mouth lower C, which is the center. So we're going to put it to that, and we're going to go 1. All right. Mouth lower L. It's going to be over this way. We're going to put this one to the left controller of the mouth. I got one more vert in here. There it is. Hit F to focus on your selection. You can see it better now. All right, we're going to go back and we want to add that as a 1. We'll blend between these two later. And then we have one more. It says lower corner. I thought we had another joint down there. Let's look and see what we got. Let's show joints. Oh, we don't. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. All right, so yeah, so we're gonna want to blend between this one, and these for the one joint here, and then we'll blend them all in when we're done. Let's go back to this. Let's hide our joints. So I'm hiding joints. So now we're gonna select these last 3 row of segments. We're gonna put them all to the same joint, but then what we know we have to do is we're gonna have to go in and make sure that they're blended with the corner of the mouth and blended also with the row of segments we had here, which was the mouth lower L. We're gonna put what we're selecting now to mouth lower L corner. So let's make our selection. And we'll get this last set over here. So we'll put this to corner. One. Well, let's do the other side. It's hard to lose these verts. You just got to follow the segment over. There it is. It's going to be our right. We'll go back to smooth shade. And then the same thing here. We're going to put these next 3 rows onto our corner, our lower right corner controller. She gave this character, the modeler, she gave this character a really nice topology layout. It's awesome. Super professional. Don't forget, if you are looking for this character, the link is in the description of this video if you would like to support the artist and purchase it. All right. So we have all those. We can go ahead and blend them now, or we can lay out our upper lip. I say let's lay out our upper lip so then we can start the process of blending everything at the same time. And we can do that by testing out shapes and everything. So let's do top center. That's going to be, yeah, top center is going to be to its different controller. So let's get one more segment depth wise. And that's going to be right here. Yep. Now see, there's not, oh yeah, there's one there. Okay. Yeah, let's grab that too. Ooh, maybe not. Yeah, because it's going to have to blend. Yeah, we're going to have to blend that. This one's going to be heavily blended with head and the center upper. So there we go. Mouth upper C, which is the center. So we add 1 to that. All right. Right, left. So let's look at the joint layout here. Let's unhide our joints again. We want to see how much is taken up. Okay. So this one, we want to blend the next 3 joints into it. Next 3 joints, I'm sorry. Next 3 rows of segments into it for both sides. So let's hide our joints again. And we want to take 1, 2, 3, and we want to blend these. One more. There's one. Let's go back to our wireframe so we can see what we're doing. There's the other one. There's the other one, I think. Yes. Hit F. There's our selection. And we want that to be our upper left joint. 1. Okay. Let's go back to shaded view, and we want to get these next 2 rows. Oh, there they go. 1, 2. And we'll blend the corners between the upper and lower corner controller. Normally I put one right in the corner, but the way this topology was set up, I did not add one in the corner. So that should be okay. But your layout can be however you see fit based on your character. Our character has full lips. So I think once I blend this between the upper and lower, it'll be fine. This is left corner. 1. Let's put this one back to the head for now until we get ready to blend it. Let's do the other side. Remember that next 3 rows of segments all go to the right controller. zoom in so you can get a better idea of where these verts are. It's right here. There's a few. Okay. Hit F, isolate your selection, just give it a quick tumble around, make sure you got the right thing selected. And this goes to upper right. That's one. Let's go to the next couple rows of segments. It's going to be the right corner. All right, awesome. So let's work on these corners right quick. For now, we're going to do like a 50-50 blend. So right now, I think they're to the head. Yeah. So we're going to take them away from that. We're going to go in one depth. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put these to the upper right corner as a 1. And then we're going to blend it 50 to lower corner, right lower corner. That's a 50%. You can see how it starts to zigzag here. We have control over all that. So what we're going to do is once we get the mouth blended how we want, we're going to be able to make sure that segment is as smooth as possible so our deformations will look good. Let's go to the other side of the mouth and do the same thing. And again, people may rig things differently now. This is how I rig the face when I'm not doing like a blend shape setup. I'm not doing anything too crazy of a setup because this is for if you're working on things in game. This can also be if you're doing stuff for cinema too, but cinematics as well, but you just don't have a large joint count that you can work with. This still works really well. So let's put this up to the upper corner and we're gonna do a 50 blend to the lower corner. All right, let's save our file. We haven't saved yet. So we're going to save as. It's going to be 21. All right. So now what we want to do is the same thing with that next row of segments in the corners of the mouth. We're going to want to add those to the controllers as well and make sure that we continue getting the corners smooth, and as we work our way into the other part of the mouth, we will get those smoothed out as well. The other thing we can do right now is set some more keys and create a shape for the mouth. And then from that shape, we'll be able to blend better to see how much more influence we want for the lips. So let's keep on moving. Let's save our file again. Control S. And so what I mean by that is we can start taking this next row of segments and blend it up a little bit more. So this is all to the jaw. So we need this to not be on the jaw. It needs to be on the lower corner. There's a 1. And then we're going to blend it with the upper right corner. Ooh, see, look, I had that on the left corner. So that's incorrect. So make sure it's in the lower right corner. You got to always pay attention. That's the right side of the face. And we want this to be blended to the right upper corner. You can do it as a 0.25 blend. We'll do the same thing with this next row of segments too. You see this one goes all the way around a few times. We don't need all of that, I don't believe. So again, we want to put this one to the upper corner, so 1 instead of the jaw, and we want to go to the left, not left, but the lower right corner. We can do a point, see what a 0.25 looks like. That's cool, 0.25. All right, so let's do it on the other side as well. Oh, how far back did I go? Okay, I only went to here. So let's make our selection. And we did this as, okay, cool. So this one's already set up to be on the left corner. So we need to go into the lower left corner as a 0.25. Do the same thing with this set. This is to jaw, so now we got to make sure this isn't to the jaw first. We'll put this to our lower left corner as a 1, and then we'll blend it to the right, to the upper left corner as a 0.25. And as you can already start to see, like, the mouth is already starting to get a better shape right here when you get into the profile of how smooth it looks. We can still do a little bit of blending right here as well, since this controller has these 2 rows of segments in it. So we can do like a 0.1 or 0.05, just so there's some subtle influence. Same thing for right here. Let's just see what this looks like if we do it. It doesn't hurt to experiment. It's better to do that now than to get so far along that it doesn't look right. So now we are, this is for the lower, so we want to do upper left corner, and we'll do a 0.1. That looks pretty cool. Let's do a 0.05. Kind of like that better. Let's do the same thing right here. See, you don't want to do that with the, well, screw it. Let's see what it looks like. We'll do, see, because when this rotates, you don't want that. Well, maybe. Let's do lower corner, 0.5 as well. So now when we rotate these corners, you know, we'll be able to get a nice squash and stretch of the shape of the mouth all through here. Just from those 2 joints, they'll influence each other pretty well. I could probably do this next row too, but let's get the rest of the mouth to be the same. So this one doesn't have anything on it, but we had 0.05. All right, so we're going to do, this is to the right corner, the lower right corner, so we want to go to the right upper corner, and we're going to do this 0.05, and then I believe the next one in, which is this one, we're going to do 0.05 going to the lower joint. Yeah. So we're going to do, yep, upper right. We're going to do lower right as a 0.05. All right, awesome. Save our file. Now we need to go set some keys. We actually need to set some keys now to get a better shape of the mouth so we can start working on the more inner parts of the lips. So if we blend now, you can see it's pretty smooth with stretching out the mouth. We need to also adjust while we're here first. See how this is all stationary? You can blend all of this right here to be like a point, 0.05, 0.1, depending what you're looking for. We can do that later when we start rigging up more of the cheeks and the joints that we have up here going to the mid section of the face, into the bridge of the nose and the nostrils and so on. For now, we're going to focus on the lips. So let's go back into our object mode. Let's show our joints. And we want to go to the outliner just to be safe. We want to select our mouth joints. Let's select our lower joints. Let's set a key on 0. Let's set a key on 10. All right. Now, the way we made these, we made it where the pivot works in our favor if we're in our local axes. So let's make sure we are still in our local axes for rotation. We're in object mode. We have our key set. Let's go up to frame 15. Let's set a key for these as well. And then we're going to start moving this around. We got these 5 joints here. So what we can do now is we can move them around, rotate them. We can do some more position type stuff with them. But see, this one's only controlling the center, so this one needs to be blended out to both sides better. So what we're going to do is move the lip around and just set some keys. Doing this will put it in its most extreme position that you would probably want to use. And then we'll start blending into that. You can see right now it's like a very hard fall off between how these are blended right now. All right, so I'm just trying to pull the lips apart because we want them to be blended. As best as possible. We're going to go back in and start messing around with the influences that these have on one another. Okay. Let's do the same thing with the upper. Let's select them all first. Should be 5 up here as well. Set a key. Frame 10, 0, and 15. And let's start moving these around too. You don't have to make a necessarily a shape for the mouth right now. We're just trying to move these out the way so when we start blending the vertices together for the influence, we'll know what we're looking at. We'll know things are moving around how they should be. Okay. So hit S. We're going to make sure set keys on everything again. Just to be sure. We can close our outliner. We can hide our joints. Deselect our joints. So what we want to do now is we want to select our mesh again, select vertex, and we want to start blending what these look like. So we're going to want to share this row of segments clearly with the center lip. So right now it's nothing, so let's just do 0.5. We have lower left, so we want to share this one with the lower center is what we want to share it with. So let's find that on here. Lower center, and let's do 0.5. Let's do 0.75, 0.5. Same thing with the other side. We're going to do 0.5 for the center. All right. And then for this next row of segments, let's share this one with 2.5 for the center. Let's do 2.5, that's fine. It still looks a little wonky. So we're going to leave that one at center and then left corner. That's left corner? Yeah, so if that's left corner, we're going to want to share this one with just left, lower left. Do 0.5 there. There you go. And then center would be a 0.1. That's better. So we have a 0.5 here. 0.39. So this next row should be blended between. We don't need to put this on the center of the lip. We probably don't even need this on the center of the lip. To be honest, let's go back. Let's take this off the center of the lip. Yeah, let's do that. And let's just do a 0.5 again. Split it even. Lower left, 0.5. Next one. All right, and we're going to split this one. It's lower left corner, lower left. It's 0.25. That looks pretty good. What's 0.1? 0.2. Let's do a 0.2 for that. 0.2 and 0.8. The next row over was a 50-50. Make sure you have all your verts selected. We're going to do a 50-50 for the right corner, right lower corner and right lower It's a 50-50. And then the next one was 80-20. All right, so this one should be 0.25 minus, so 0.20. Save our file. And we can blend with a very minor influence that next row of segments down where my mouse cursor is right now, so that it's not such a hard fall off of when the lips are moving. It's having a hard cut right here, which is fine. There's only subtle movement in real life on that area when you start moving your mouth, unless you're doing something like, oh, and then it's really going to move a lot. So if we scrub through, see, the lips are blending really well. Save our file again. Let's look at the upper. So we were on what frame? 15. Let's go back to our outliner, and we're going to be looking at upper right. We're going to set some keys on here. And then right corner, upper right corner. And we're going to do left corner. It's looking pretty smooth. Again, this is just so we can get our topology to be smooth. This is not a pose for a phoneme or nothing like that. We will go over those in another video, though. So let's select our character mesh again. Turn outliner off. Go back to vertex mode. Again, with this one, it's the only one that has the C. So we need to blend in these next corners of the lips. And make sure you get the one on the underside too. There you go. And so this is the upper R. We're going to want to blend this to the upper C at a 50%. This next one can be the next one over, which is 0.25 actually. To the C, so 0.25. All right. And then these next ones we want to blend, it's upper R. We want to blend these with the corner. So let's blend this with the corner of the lower. Lower right. Oh, wait. It's on the upper R. Now we want to do the right corner. So we'll do upper right corner, and we'll do a 0.25, 0.1. 0.2. We still got this next row. It's not that much influence, but it is right corner. So we want to do right now it's upper and lower. So we want to do just upper R, and we're going to do this as a 0.25, 0.1. Okay, let's do the other side. It's 50-50. All right, let's put that one to the center, upper C. And we'll do that one at a 50-50. The next one was 2.25 for the upper C. .25 upper C. Dook. Okay. Next row over. This one is going to be R. 1, 2, 1, 2, right here. Okay. So let's take that one. That one was a 0.25. Not to the C. Let's do 0. This was to left. It should have been to the left corner. So we'll do a 0.25. Save my file. Let's make sure it's consistent. Ooh, it's a point R, or 0.8 and a 0.2. Yeah. It's a 0.8 and a 0.2. Okay. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. R, L. All right, the corner has the 0.2. The corner has the 0.2. Next, let's one more over. So this one's the upper, lower, and right. Okay, so that's this one. And this one's going to go to L. Upper L. And that's a point. Didn't even see what it was. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A 0.1. So we'll do 0.1. All right. Save your file. Here's the thing. This can change. As we start working on our phoneme set and we start working on posing out the face, you're going to want to update these lips. Right now, I'm just trying to get into a general weighting location so the influences actually work appropriately and those joints get tagged once we get it into the engine, or once we get it to where we can manipulate it as our rig when we add our rig to the scene. So let's try one more thing. We should get the tongue. We should get the tongue set up too. You can open the mouth. Move the lips around. Let's add the tongue. All right, so we should have tongue joints. We're going to split this up to a few different, go to our wireframe. It'll be the easiest way to see the tongue. Not the best way to select it, but it's the easiest way to see it. So we should have some joint tongue. There we go. Joint 1. I think I started from back to front. Joint 1, 2, 3. Let's open up our outliner and see where these joints fall. So let's find our tongue joints over here. 1. All right, that's in the back. 2, 3. All right, it's in the back of the jaw. Vertex mode. Go down to tongue 1. Where's it at? Let's see. Tongue 1, tongue 1, tongue 1. There we go. Tongue 1. And we only want to add let's select this row of verts. We want to add just these last 2 rows. All right, there's 1. Okay, it doesn't operate the same way. What we're going to do is we're going to grow or expand rather. So shift period. We just want to go up 1 more. I'm just going to add all these to the tongue of 1 with an influence of 1. All right, that's better. Let's see if I can get this to select again. Nope. So we got to manually select this. That's fine. Let's see. We're just going around selecting and getting this tongue some vertices on it. So when we get this export, this updated export in, we don't have to worry about it. All right, we're going to grow this up 1. And we have to deselect the ones in the back. And then let's see where tongue 2 falls. Tongue 2 falls more up the chain. All right, so let's deselect these. Again, I'm still just deselecting these verts. Oops, undo. I accidentally selected all of them. All right. So these are to the jaw. So we're going to want these to our middle tongue. So we'll do tongue 2. And we'll do 1. And so we have to blend in between this. So we'll make these a 0.5 to mix between tongue 1 and tongue 2 and get the head joint out of there for these. There we go. That's better. Let's hide this. We don't need that open. We just hit the outliner. We really want to just to be able to select these keys. keys, but vertices. Select these keys. Select these vertices. It's late, and I am tired. After we get the tongue set up, I think I'm gonna pause it and then pick this up later. I do not want to fall asleep on the video. Let's do, but I want to still make sure I am creating these for you guys, for everybody that's watching. This is something, if people have a desire, I want them to be able to learn this. So we'll do 0.5 between these. So it's already on tongue 1, or tongue 2, and we're going to do a 0.5 blend for tongue 2. We want this to be on tongue 2 as well. So let's start selecting these verts too. Oop, I lost it. There it is. I was about to say I lost the vert. Zoom out a little bit. Let's get some of these bottom row verts. So I think we need to blend this between both. So we'll do this on tongue 2 as a 1, and then we'll do tongue 3 as a 0.5. Then these next ones should be only for let's do plus plus. All right, we got some verts missing of the selection. Oh, select the wrong vert there. Make sure you pay attention and take your time so you don't select the wrong vertices. Then you'll be wondering what happened when you start moving stuff around. Then it'll be a pain to try to go and find it. Hit F to focus. Make sure you have all the tongue vertices selected. We're just going to put this one to 3, tongue 3. That's to jaw. And the next one up is 2 and 3. So we'll do this one at a 0.25. Oh no, this one actually should be 0.5, and the other one should be a 0.25 for the blending. So let's select all these verts. All right, so it doesn't build a ring anymore like it did in the one in the back. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna have to go for a 4th meal. It's 1 o'clock. I had a light dinner. Again, selecting another row of verts around the tongue. Select inverts, select inverts. Hit F to focus. You get a better roll of what verts go to what. Just make sure you don't select the wrong verts. It's going to be a pain to get those out of there. Hit F again. So I should have this whole row selected, this whole ring selected. And we can have this be an influence of tongue 3, 1, tongue 2, 0.5. We probably should stretch the tongue out too with some keys. Save your file. Next set over. Tongue 2. We'll put this on tongue 2. Let's see, I got the wrong verse selected. This is already on tongue 2. What is this one on? Tongue 2, 3. Okay. Let's save our file. Let's go back in here. Let's go to get this bottom row. This is what was bothering me. So if we select this, we can give it a better value for blending. Okay. Mouth is open on 10. This is to the jaw. Let's put this back to the head. This will be a 0.1, 0.25. Okay. Let's save our file. All right, awesome. We still have a lot of blending left to do. Okay, cool. We're going to get the tongue out of the mouth next so we can get a better view of how we're going to split these up. Put this back on frame 10. Save our file. All right, awesome. I needed to take a break. We are back now. We left off working on the mouth, so let's get right into it. As you can see here, we are still on frame 10, which we left off on, but as you can also see by the dates down here in the corner, I needed to take some time and rest. So a lot of things are going on at the office. So I'm back at it. We are looking at the mouth. The last thing we were doing was just focusing on the corners of the mouth as well as the tongue. So we need to finish getting those. We just put this in here just to see how things are moving. This is not one of the phoneme shapes. But we need to get this better blended so we can make sure everything is moving as intended. So we're going to start off on the last file that we had open, which should be whatever your last scene was. Mine was number 21. Let's zoom back in here to the mouth. Let's open up our edit rig. Wait, no, it should be rig creator. Go to our rig creator. All right, once we're on our rig creator, you'll see it brings the tools back up. You want to select the mesh and then go to vertex mode for the mesh. And then we should be good to go. I think we left off on frame 10. So let's see, where did we leave off with skinning these? So this one's to the lower. I think we were in the process of blending these in. So let's do one thing and take that push off of there. We need to actually spread the mouth out instead of pushing it like this. We need to spread it out like like that, so we can see just what we're dealing with. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our joints back on. We're also going to get out of vertex mode, go back into object mode. Let's open up. We can open up outliner and select them in there. We're going to just 1, 2. I don't think that's connected to anything. Yeah, let's open up the outliner. Shift click on this plus and it'll open up the accordion. You can also right click and go to reveal selected. And this will take us to where all of our controllers are that we want to select for the bottom row. And then the upper row, we want cheek, mouth, upper. And there's one more set in the corners. Let's remove this 15 keyframe off of here. Delete 10. Let's add another type pose in here. So we're gonna press S to set a key for all the ones we have selected, and now we're just gonna go in here and move them around a little bit. And you want to hit S again to set a key on them. I'm just stretching these down a little bit. What are we on? Make sure you're on, yeah, local spaces or object mode is fine. Let's go down on here. That's why. You can move these independently. Now, the one thing that we're going to learn more about when we start actually putting in our phonemes and making our shapes for our mouths and everything is that the lips roll around the teeth to get like this. They're actually just going around the skull and the jawline and the teeth. A lot of times people animate just in one view, which is like the forward view like this, and you see the mouths look kind of flat because they're around. They're only going on like this plane when you really need to take into account, you know, how much it's actually going up and back this way. A lot of people don't take that into account when they do their facial animation, and it looks, you can tell. So, but for right now, that's why we have our axes where it moves along this path of the jaw, and you can just rotate it around to make sure your axis flows. But for right now, we're just moving this out so that we can get a better idea of how this is going to work. Let's see, our rotation is also an object. Okay, so that's good. So yeah, just move the mouth in more of a open smile, like a we just want to see what happens to the mouth and see how much more blending we need to do to get it to look right. It's weird that the joint isn't rotating, but it's still rotating the geo. It's kind of strange. And you can rotate this to whatever best fits your character. Your character's mouth might be a little different than this one, but same thing still applies with getting the shape you want. As you can see here with the corners, we still got some blending we got to do on that side to make it feel better. But yeah, just we're going to be using your XY axes to get these where they need to be. And again, we're just moving these around so we can start to blend the segments, the connecting vertices between these joints to be better blended, better weighted, better skinned. Let's see. Let's move a few of these. And this is not using blend shapes. A lot of times you can't really use blend shapes unless you're working on like cinematics and stuff. What we're focusing on is more in-game type rig. So you can see there's some blending here. I need to push those verts back, get them to be influenced by the lips a little bit more, the jaw controls. All right, so let's leave that as our pose for now. And now we can go in and we need to blend this. So let's hide our joints. And go back to vertex mode after you select. So this is right now the jaw and the head. So you need this to be to this lower corner joint. Which what you can do is you can go here. So this is lower our corner. It's a 0.95. So you can take this and select it and then go to skin joints and then look for the joint in here. Should be joint lower right corner. And do this as a 0.75. Let's do this as a 0.5. Let's do this one as a 0.5, but this one's gonna be blended between the two. So left corner lower, and we're gonna need the upper mouth upper right. I'm gonna do this as a 0.25, 0.1. Do this one as a 0.1, 0.25, no, 0.1. And we're going to go back to our right lower corner. Do this one as a 0.5, 0.75, 0.5, 0.6. All right, let's do this one. It's only to the head, so we're going to need this one to go to our joint upper right corner, and that will be a 0.5. See, we're kind of smoothing that out a little bit more. This should be a upper and a lower. So we'll do corner upper, we'll do a 0.1, 0.25, and then we'll do mouth lower right corner, 0.25, 0.1, ooh, 0.25, 0.3. All right, that needs to be blended to the upper. So we're going to put this one to mouth upper right corner, 0.25, 3545. Upper right corner. This one needs to be moved upper right corner. 0.1, 0.25, 35. All right. Let's see. Looks like we still got some verts in here that need to be blended downward. So this is the left. We want to do left lower. And again, you're just following along with this. Your character might be different, but these still would apply to the same thing if you're working on the mouth still. So use this as a guide, or if you're actually using this model, just follow along. We're looking at the mouth lower left corner now. And this we'll do 0.1. We'll do 0.75. Where is it actually going? Oh, it's going back here. Okay. Let's do that instead. All right, I want to I want to go back and grab these right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to just mirror these. I think that'll work. 2, 3, 4, 5. We just want to mirror those. So let's just select the ones we want to mirror. And then we're going to select mirror. So let's go to up here to this tab. We're going to go to rigging. And then from there, we are going to select skin. Should be a mirror weights. Mirror skin weights. Open up the box, the properties. And then from here, we want to do 1 to 1, 1 to 1. And we're going YZ positive to negative. Ooh, we did the negative side first, I think. Let's save our file. Let's save this first. Save as 22. So we're going to go negative to positive, because I think we started on this side, and this is the negative. This is the positive. But yeah, YZ axis, what we're flipping over. 1 to 1, so we're going to do mirror. Yeah, and it mirrored it over. There's still some craziness here. We need to bring this down a little bit. What we'll do with these is we will, instead of putting them to the lips, because that'll be weird, I think we should blend them in with the jaw a little bit more to bring this part down some. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do joint jaw. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I want to bring those down on the jaw. Let's just do it like this to the tins. I want to bring these down a little bit to the jaw as well. Bringing this down just to 0.10 for the jaw. There is still some chubby cheek looking area right here. that we need to figure out something for. I'm just going to save this. It's casting a hard shadow on it. Let's see. Jaw, head. Nope, that's not gonna do it. It was a 0.35. All right. Let's open the mouth up a little bit more. Object mode. It doesn't look too bad, but it's too much. It looks like it's more on this side than it is the other side too. All right. Let's show our joints. Let's go back to the jaw. And on 15, let's rotate this down a little bit more. And let's take these and move them up. We're going to move this down. I don't think we blended anything on the top row yet. Again, I'm just setting keys and moving this around to a better position so we can edit how the mouth is shaping up. And then we're going to go back and tweak some of our values on the actual all right, so let's leave that like that. And then let's hide our joints again. And select the mesh. Let's go back to vertex. Looks like there's still some problems here. So let's address these. I'm selecting them, and I'm going to do the hold shift and period. Selects the next row. I'll do it one more time. We're going to add all these to the jaw as 100%. So now we want to go back in here and we're going to tweak these out a little bit more. So let's select our verts and start setting these to have more influence. Let's see. These are to the jaw, the head, and the mouth upper corner. There is a cheek one. Cheek right and left. There's cheek right. Let's see how far cheek right moves. That may be too much. Oh, that may be too much to move that. Might be asking too much of that single joint. Jaw, we can put this one back to the jaw, 0.5. Let's put this back to 0.10 increment. Let's put that on jaw. Joints, jaw. Let's put this on more of the upper right corner. More upper right corner. Upper right corner. Mouth, upper right corner. Can we move this one? Joint, lower right corner. No, not moving. Okay, so it's already 100% on that. Let's see, we might have to use the jaw. That looks like it needs to be upper right corner. This needs to be onto the jaw. right. There's some trippy indentions here. Jaw, head. No, those aren't where we want it to go. I want it to go more inward. This one is upper. So this is where you have to figure out the best choice for this if the topology moves where you want it. A lot of people have more controllers than what I have on here too. So they wouldn't be dealing with this the same amount or the same way at all. And what I'm trying to do is flatten this part out because it kind of sticks out a little bit too much more than I like when the mouth is fully open. And this is a very extreme pose, but still. Lower, let's do upper right corner. It's lower right corner, head and jaw. Let's just do 0. Jaw and head. If we add more to the head. Let's go back up to the joint, the head joint. Do that like that, so that's a lot smoother. We're just gonna mirror these over again once we have them in a good spot. I'm just trying these out on the head joint. Pulls them back, but not that much. Save our file. And what we're going to do is just mirror this over. So go back to your 0 frame. And we want to, let's just select it like this. And let's actually go to our left viewport instead so we can make sure we're selecting the same verts. So go to press spacebar to go to your left viewport. Spacebar is going to take you back outside of one viewport into 4 viewports, and then just hover over the left viewport and hit spacebar again, or the side viewport, and then that will take you where you need to go. So that we can select this better and get everything we want for both sides of the face in there. But right now we're going to show and we're going to hide joints. And I'm going to use the lasso selection tool, and you just want to get the ones that we've kind of touched. So I'm going to go like that. And grab those. Spacebar. And I want to do another mirror. I want to deselect these. They don't exist on both sides. go to, let's go to our rigging. That's correct. And we're going to go to skin, and we're going to go to mirror skin weights. That's correct. We're still doing YZ. We're doing a negative to positive, 1 to 1. And make sure you're in your zero frame or your resting pose for the face. That works better than when you try to do this after you've already moved the joints around, because it'll think that's the zeroed out position for some reason, I believe, last time I did it. So just go back to what your default was when you first started this file, which should be your frame 0. And now let's just hit mirror. All right. Let's save this as another iteration. File, save as. So this is 23. Once you have this saved, go back to object mode, turn that off. And then we just want to take a look at what it looks like mirrored. So it's a little bit better. This side is a lot smoother than this side. This side's not working out so hot the same way. And we also have some weirdness going on with the mouth right here. So we need to see if that's just us not moving the keys around or the joints around correctly. But this side looks a lot better. There's still some funkiness here with the lighting. Let's fix this lip right quick. Go to verts. And this is a 0.8 for upper L. So this doesn't need to be lower C. This doesn't need to be lower anything. This needs to be all. Let me see, where is that one at? It's this one right here. So we want to do upper L 8, upper L corner 0.2. So we'll do upper L. See, that's all wrong. So let's go to the correct joint that we want to use. So you can do upper L. Upper L. Let's just do 1. And then we're going to do, what was the other? Corner. Upper L corner. And that was a 0.2, 1, 2. All right, save your file. All right, let's see about making this look better. And we probably don't want this to be influenced so much. All right. Now, why is this not matching this? Right upper, left upper, 0.8, 0.3, 0.55. Head is 0.55. One, 0.31, 0.1, 0.5, 0.3. Let's do minus. Leave it like that. Let's see, how does that look? Okay, we just gotta do the other ones. They should be the same numbers though. 1, 2, That's close though. All right, let's look at the joints. Go ahead and save your file. Let's do show joints. See if there's just a bad rotation on one of these. Go back to object mode. Let's take this. We're on frame 15 still. Do that like that. Do that like that. I think it was mostly internal. We get rid of that edge right there. I'm still just moving things around, try to get a better shape so that I can continue skinning the mouth. A lot of this is trial and error based on the topology of the character. I'm going to go and hide these joints again. Show joints. So that's looking a lot better. Hit save. And the same thing, what you really want to do is you want to try to get the topology to stay consistent as possible going around. Like if I was to draw, like this line right here would be one of my contours. And I have another row that's like going like this. And another row that's going like this. You want those rows to stay close as possible. You want those rows to stay as close as possible to the best deformation location based on the influence joints that it's using. So this turned out pretty good. For this to be kind of low poly. This mouth still is a little different on this side. I think a lot of it had to do with what I was doing with the joints for the mouth. But what we're going to do now is we are going to look at our topology. Doesn't look bad. We're going to fix the inside of the mouth. There's still the tongue that we have. So let's do that too. But there's still this little webbing part right here I want to try to get rid of. So go back to vertex mode. And where is that connected? It looks like these right here. Not that one. Are they off screen? Yeah, they are. Okay. So we need to get these and bring these down. So is there one? It is. Look at that. All right, cool. So we want to bring that down to the jaw instead of the head. So we're going to put on the jaw for 100 just to be safe and start it off that way. Jaw 100. That's better, but there's still more. There's still more to it. Looks like it's this one too. Yep. So instead, let's do jaw and head 50. Do it like that. And then it looks like we're going to have to bring this one over to the lower left corner. We're going to do this one as a 0.25. That'll bring it out the way. 0.5. Yeah. That looks better. Plus it's hidden more. Let's do the same thing to whatever this one is down here. So that's to the jaw. Let's do head 0.25. Let's do lower corner 0.5. Do that like that. That looks better. Yeah, I don't like how these are all going to the 1 point. Let's do this to the jaw. Let's do a 0.5, 0.25. And we're going to do this to the upper. So let's go back down to the mouth upper left corner. Do 0.25, 0.5. Head 0.5. Corner 0.75. That's not what I'm getting. What I want. It's closer though, but I don't want that like that. I want this to be 0.25. Get it out of the way. We can leave that like that. Let's look at these lips right here. Let's actually turn on our image plane. Let's turn on our joints. Save your file. Go back to object mode. We are back to setting keys. Do this like this. And there's this one. We're going to do that. And we're really going to be paying attention to what these look like as we make our shapes, our phoneme shapes. Let's go back through vertex mode, hide the joints. Let's make sure we did blend these all the way through. So that's the mouth, that's blended, that's blended, that's blended, that's blended. Right corner, what is that? Oh, upper and lower right corner. Oh yeah, that's fine. Mouth upper L. These might be incorrect. Lower. Let's do this. 0. What you prefer to see was that? So right above the corner of the mouth. Let's see how the best way to find this is. I think it's this right here. And we'll do left lower corner. And we'll turn that to 0 as well. These need to be blended down to the jaw. Let's do one jaw. Oops. Jaw. I didn't have it selected over here. Do it like that. Head, jaw, joints. All All right, let's start moving these. This is joint. Kind of want to select those. Save our file. Let's go back to frame 0. Spacebar, spacebar. We want to go to wireframe only. Okay. Now we want to, let's go back. Let's just select, we want to do all these right here. And we can select these through the rest of the geo because they're highlighted. All right, let's do wireframe. Let's do this. Let's do that. That one is 3. This is 4. 5. 6. 3 more. All right, spacebar, spacebar, and we're gonna do a mirror weights on this. These parts, let's do a save file again. Go back to your skeleton, go to mirror scan weights. We're going from a negative to a positive. Let's do mirror. All right, and if you scrub, that should be identical. Okay, save your file. Now what we're gonna do is let's bring the tongue out and get that weighted. It's just gonna be blended. It's just gonna be blended throughout all of the rest of the joints. I think there's 3 or 4 joints within the tongue. We're just gonna try to bring the tongue all the way out, stretch it out really long, and then blend those in between vertices between each joint to have a uniform fall off. So what we'll do is we'll go back to object mode. We're going to show joints, and we are going to start setting some keys. So on frame 15, we go back to our outliner. We can see that we will have tongue 1 through 3. We'll set a key on 15, and then on 20, we'll set another key. What we're going to do is we're going to take this, bring it out of the mouth. That's good. Take this one, do that. Take this one, and do that. And then we just want to make sure everything's all blended the way we want. So let's select that mesh, go back to vertex. There should be tongue joints on here, I hope. If not, we'll have to do that process over where we save it and then come back. Oh man, I don't see any tongue joints. Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. All right, so turn our joints off. We can turn this off. We can turn our joints off. Show joints, and then all right, let's grab the tail end of these, and we're just gonna do the grow, which is shift period. I'm gonna say this is tongue 1. So 0.1. And then I'm going to say this is tongue 2. So this is 0.5, 0.75. 0.75, 0.5, 0.75, 85, 1, 2, 6, 5. We'll say this one is tongue 2, increments of 10. Let's do this one. Let's go back. It's going to be joint 1 or tongue 1. Let's just do increments. And then let's do increment of tongue 3 minus. This is all of tongue 3. So let's do 1. And then we'll do tongue 2 and we'll do 0.5. And then we'll add this one. We'll do this one as tongue 3, tongue 2, 0.25. We'll leave it like that. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Let's go back to 15. Let's close her mouth. Save your file. Go back to 0. And then when we start doing the phonemes as well, we may want to address what this looks like skinning wise once we start doing that, which is fine. This is just so we have a good base to start with. I think that's fine right now. So let's get this updated, exported, and then we'll test it in Unreal. Make sure our file is still working. We'll do a test animation on the full face at that point too. So we saved our file. We got that updated. I don't know. Did we get the cheeks? I don't know if we got the cheeks updated. These are blended. Those are blended. Head, jaw. We do not. So cheeks. Let's turn our joints on since we're still in here. Joints. Cheek. Oops. Undo. Object mode. Select the cheek. Let's go from frame 0. So we can delete the rest of these frames. Let's go in here to our outliner, which should be on the side panel if you select. We want to select what we just got done working on with the mouth, all the mouth stuff. We gotta do the nose too. I don't know if I saw the nose in there, but select all the mouth stuff and the tongue and the jaw. All right, we just want to kill these frames. Let's click. Let's not click. Let's actually do a save as, and let's say this is another iteration. 24. So now we're going to select the cheeks, and we're going to move the cheeks out. So we're going to set a key on 0. Set a key on 0. And we're going to move these out. So you see nothing's to them now. Let's go out like 10 frames and pull them out. Hit S. Go back to our mesh. Go back to vertex. Let's leave the joints on for now since we're just working with those two. It'll be a lot easier. To see them that way. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start layering on vertices that's gonna be influenced by them. This is just so you can get some subtle like motion like that for in the face. It also can help when we start doing this and pulling the cheeks up, it'll also influence that as well. So we're going to try to work our way down the whole mouth, or cheek side for both sides. Let's actually just do one side and then we'll just mirror it over. So for now, it looks like it's this guy right here. So we'll give this the most influence to the cheek, and that is to the right cheek. So if you scroll down, you'll see his cheek right expand. Upper is the one that is right here. So we'll deal with that one in a little bit. But we're going to do cheek right expand. And we want this to have the most influence. So we'll do this one as a 0.5. So it's a 0.5, and we keep everything else on there. And then we're just going to grow this out to the next set. Like that, and then deselect him. Or her, or deselect her cheek right there. And we want to give this one, we did 0.5 on the last one. Let's do 0.5 again. But we're going to want to do, let's do a minus 0.05. Let's do another minus. Boop. Do another minus. All right, let's do it like that. Now let's do the next one. And then let's take these off. So we'll take this off, this off, this off, that off, that off, and that off. And this will have, we did 0.5, 0.3. We'll do a 0.1. Let's do one. Let's do a 0.05 increment. Dook. Let's do that. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. It's pretty smooth. All right, so that looks pretty smooth. I kind of want to add a little bit to it here. Just a little bit. All right, let's see what this looks like. Let's save our file before we do anything crazy. And then what we want to do is we want to turn off joints, see what it looks like. And then let's turn off the vertex mode, go back to object mode, and then deselect. Cool. So now what we want to do is we want to copy and paste that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4, 5, and just do that. All right, and oops, let's actually do it like this. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay. It's late here. Now what we're going to do is we are going to mirror this. So save your file again. After it's done saving, go to skin, go to mirror skin weights. This should all still be the same. Click mirror. Now the other thing we're going to do is we just need to take, oh, I guess we already did move it out. So there it is right there. Let's go back to object mode, click save. Turn off this. That works. And it's smooth too. It's cool. It makes her lose that contour that's there. So that's a nice contrast of. All right. Now we need to do the upper cheek. The upper cheek is this part right here. This part right here is the upper cheek, and that moves. That's gonna move from here all the way around to here. So it's gonna be when you see people putting on makeup, or even like I think it's makeup and or when people put on like the sports paint, it's gonna be literally. Let me see this right here. So that area that moves right there, that's going to be the upper cheek. So what we're going to do is we have two joints for that. We're going to actually put some vertices on that and then make that move. That'll be helpful when the character is smiling, so you can get a nice, like, believable smile, out of the cheeks. The eyes are going to be squinted. That's going to also help with bringing that mesh up so that it's not just like a deadpan with like a, the eyes are going up, but the cheeks aren't moving. So let's do that next. Save your file. Let's save this one time now, but then let's also save it as another increment. This will be 25 for me. We also want to go and let's show joints. Select these joints. We're going to kill these keys off of here. Delete. All right, save it again. These are the upper ones right here. So what we're gonna do is I think we can move them up. Yes. All right, so we're gonna set a key, go up 10, and then just move them up a little bit. And a little bit out. Oh, all right, let's see. We're gonna move it out on Z. Just a little bit. I am on my space bar to go into my left viewport. I want these to be somewhat similar. So I just did that so they can match up a little bit better. Space bar back out, space bar into my window. You just have to hover over wherever you want to go. And then hit spacebar while you're over that viewport, and it'll give you what you want, which is that viewport expanded. So now we're going to do save again. And then we're also going to Control S. We're going to hide these joints. Let's go back into vertex mode. And we want to be affected by this. We'll do one side and then mirror it over. Let's start here. No, let's see if I look. Well, I gotta keep my glasses on so I can see. We should start with the lower part of the cheek. But it's gonna be just these segments right here. I should really have a mirror out here at my desk. Yeah, it's gonna be all that. All right, so let's start at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's already up as far as it goes, so... Oh, wait, did we already do this? Did they already move with it? It already has the expand on there. It's not moving with it. Oh, it's a 0.03, that's why. Oh, wait, I don't think it notices that those are joints. Hold on. Undo, 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 undo. But it should know that those are joints because we're at this point where we put them on here. Interesting. What do these look like? Okay, they have nothing on them. So this should be 4, 5. Let's select the joint. We don't have it selected. That's why it's not doing anything, I don't think. This is going to be at the bottom. Right cheek upper. There you go. Ah, because it was on expand. The span was that was the wrong one for it to be on. Ah, crap. Why did I just undo that? That's the one I wanted. Okay. Open up your other scene. Oh, hold on, let me see something. I think I just took off. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I want to leave that on there. Open the last scene. Let's see. Just reopen 25. I think it is late. I think I took off what the expanse was for this part of the cheek. You want to keep that on there, so it still has influence. So these still have their keys. That's where we were just at. Now let's look at this real quick. Vertex. Oh, I saved it. Are you kidding me? Open up 24. That's why you save. That's why you save. That is why you save an increment. All right. So we'll overwrite number 25. This one should have just had this on there. Perfect. Okay. So let's just save this as 25 because we don't want to change this one. So let's save this as 25 first. Yes. And we want to go in. We are in object mode. We want to turn on our joints. It's on both sides, right? Yeah. We want to delete the keys. Delete. Delete. We want to put keys on this. 0, 10. We want to go up a little bit. And then we want to move these forward. Again, spacebar, spacebar. Show joints. Select the other joint. Put it right on top of the other one, and then there you go. Spacebar, spacebar. Save as 25. Yes. We want to hide our joints. We want to select our mesh. We want to go to vertex mode. We want to select this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's kill this and let's reopen it. I don't think it's updating now. Recreator. All right. Let's go back to vertex. There we go. So see, it has expand on there, which is fine. That's how we do want that. But we want this to be not expand. We want to select the one we want to put it on, which is going to be the upper one. And so we want cheek right upper. And we want that to start off with a 0.1. Right? So that's a 0.1. Let's just say point. That was F. If you hit F, it'll center, and I'm just zooming out, and then, so I can rotate around that. 0.1. Let's see, point. Let's add another 0.1. That might be a bit much. Minus a 0.1. Okay. Let's do the next one up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we may want this to be tapered off a little bit there. So, but we'll get to that. We want this to be 0.25. Just keep going. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we want this to be, let's try 0.25 again. But we'll do a 0.35. 0.35. Let's do the next row up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven. Let's do this one as 0.25. 0.35. 0.05. Boop. All right. It's a hard edge. Let's do one more. All right, let's do just a little bit. So it's not too creepy. Let's see. Let's do a 0.1 for upper. 0.125 minus. That looks better. All right. Let's see what this looks like. So it's not moving enough on some of these. It needs to go out a little bit more on the outer ring. That is a 0.25. That is a 0.1. So we'll do 0.1. It's 0.25. What is this one? 0.3. 3, 5, 2, 5, 3, 3, 5. This one is 0.4. 0.4. We're going to do this one. So we're going to do this one as a 0.25, 0.1 plus. All right. I think I'll do this row a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do this as a plus 0.5, plus 0.5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus 0.5. All right, so let's leave that how it is right there. Let's bring these down though. So head. Oh, let's just do it one at a time. 1, 2. So we're gonna do head, and we'll do this as 0.05. 0.05. Head 0.05. 0.05. 0.05. 0.05. All right, same one here. 0.05. 0.05. Same one here. 0.05. 0.05. All right, so we're going to copy this over since we got that tweaked now. As you can see what the values are here, I just kind of went around these rows of segments and blended it into that joint that we have selected. So now we're going to duplicate that on the other side. So let's select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for good measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Go back to frame 0. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make sure you get all these selected that we did touch, and then we're going to select the same thing on the opposite side of the face, because that's what we're going to be weighting this to. All right. And that is going to be this row, this row, this row, this row, this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then let's just go down this side of the face, these contours. Make sure you practice good posture so you don't mess your back up. I'm just selecting around the lower eye area, around the outer lower eye area. And we're going to copy over the values for here. Remember, this is going to be a subtle motion when you use it. It's not going to be anything too crazy. It's just so that there's some believability and movement and motion there when you're emoting with the rest of the face and being expressive. So this shouldn't be like doing anything too crazy. Oops. All right, I think that's all of them. And again, we're going from left to right. Let's go to save. And let's go to our skin, and we're going to go to mirror weight, skin weights. That's correct. Mirror. So now when we move this, everything should be going up for both sides. All right, cool. So we'll save that. Let's go back to object mode, show joints. Grab those joints, and we're going to delete the keys. Delete. Delete. Let's look at the nose. I think we have a nose joint. So let's do set a key. Go to frame 10, set a key. All right, so let's look at this. Do we have a nose joint for 1,000? Should be joint nose. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this one. Oh. Vertex mode. Right click and select vertex mode. We're going to take this. And we're going to do a shift period. We just want to grab this much of the nose. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's enough. That might be too much. And then we're going to go, this is going to be a 0.1. No, minus. There you go. And then we're going to stop short of what we just selected last time. And this one's going to be 1, 2. This one's going to be 1, 2. And this one's going to be 1. Okay. So if we're doing this, but then if we do something like, go back to object mode, select, copy, let's go to frame 20, we're going to do paste, do file save, we're going to rotate, and then pull this over to the side. So if she's like doing something like this, like, you know, we can get the nose to, oh, my finger smells good. It's this soap. I washed my hands before I came out here. We can see that it's gonna make the nose wiggle. Whoop, whoop. Which is pretty cool. All right, so let's kill these frames. Delete, delete, save. Always save an increment. Select the cheeks, select the upper cheeks. All right, there's no keys on any of those. We're gonna go up here and do all objects selected off and just select joints and then select the joints. Let's make sure there's no keys on anything. Go to your outliner, hold down shift, select your root all the way to your breast joint. All right, it looks like there's no keys on anything. Perfect. Save. I'm gonna save this as oh, let's check something. Object mode. What is it doing? What is it doing? What is it doing? Oh yeah, we have it turned off. This makes it where you can't select anything but joints. So now you want to go back up here and turn it to all objects on. Select your mesh. Let's go to vertex. We're going to go and select everything. Oops. Hide your joints. Select your mesh again. Go to vertex mode. Select everything. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and make sure nothing is on the root joint. So just look for root. There shouldn't be anything on it, or which means it shouldn't appear in the list. If it appears in the list, what we're going to do is we need to, I think we already did it before, we're just double checking. We want to select it and hit 0. All right, I'm all clean. All right, good. If you're not clean, go into your skin joints right here, select root, and then hit 0. And that'll make it where you won't get the stretchy butt like we did before. Any other stretchy part, like the knees and joints, are usually pretty bad for being stretchy because there's still stuff to the root. All right, there's no keys on anything. Go back to object mode. We can show our joints, save the file. Oh, get it in a better spot. Yeah, that's better. Save the file. Let's do another one just to be sure. File, save as, because we're about to do the rig onto this. 6. Save. And we want to build our rig. Again, building the rig is going to take a little bit, but it shouldn't take that long. So we're going to go continue. We do want to overwrite a file. We want to overwrite what we had before. So it's female. Whatever your name is, just overwrite that one. That's the one we want to overwrite. It'll update all our animations we've already done because all those files are referenced from this file. So we want to do continue. Already exists. Give a name. Overwrite. So this will take a minute to do what it has to do. Yes, you want to make a different rig pose. So you want to select the arm. You want to bring the arm out here. Update rig pose. Arm. Here. Update rig pose. Then you want to scroll all the way down to your legs. Update rig pose. Update rig pose. All right. Continue. Skip. You don't need this. This is fine as it is. Zoom in some more. Continue. Build. Just click it once so you don't break anything. This is going to build your rig out for you. Now this is going to take a little bit of time, I believe. I think it's still working. Oh, man. Oh, it's working. Okay. So that's going to take a moment. It's probably just getting all the new data that we had. We did it one time before, and it didn't take that long. Build progress. Something about the neck mover offset may not evaluate as expected. Should be fine. So the build progress is going to pop up like it just did, and it's also going to tell you once it's done, rig is complete. And that it passed and everything's good. And then after that, what we're going to do is re-export all our base meshes that we already put into Unreal, and then go into our scene that we had built before. Make sure all the animations are updated. Make sure everything can play. And then we're going to go into the face animation, and we're going to add a little bit more stuff for the cheeks and the tongue and opening the mouth and stuff like that, just to see how that translates over into Unreal. And then that'll be our test for that. And we should be good to go with calling that complete, and we can move on to the next thing we're going to work on. All right, it says success, IK build is complete. Success, FK build is complete. So let's do new scene. Let's kill this. Let's load in our character. Add rig for animation. Oh wait, let's edit rig. Let's select that rig to edit. It's selected. Current files don't save. We're gonna do our exports right now before we start doing anything else. We want to do export skeletal models. Okay. It's going to strip everything out the rig except for the joints. And we're going to do, I think we have 3 states. We're going to do the naked version, the underwear, and then both of them combined. And just overwrite the files we have already existing. All right. So you don't want to close this window until we're done. So you can just drag it off to the side for now. We want to open up Outliner. We want to shift click on that. We want to first select all our joints, and we want to select our female base mesh. And this is going to be export selected. And this is our naked version. Yes. This should be fine. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to select the underwear, and we want to do export selection underwear. Now you want to do both. Export selection. That's just our normal rig file. Yes. All right, cool. So now we can close this, and we can also go and open up and re-export our other files because they need to have the same I know they're just the joints, but we just want to make sure they have the same updated rig. So now we can go to open, go back and go to our animation folder. We have our idle. Let's open up our idle. It should bring in this rig. So that should be fine, actually. That should be fine. Let's do, there's our stuffs. So select all your joints. And then export selection. It's our idle. So we'll do yes. And then we're going to move on and look at our mocap file. I think that this is the idle. We have one more to do. That should be fine. Let's open animation folder, face test, mocap tests. Ah, yes. So let's open up the mocap. And then we'll do the face test file next. All right, cool. I think I just did this and this, and that was enough. But I'm gonna do it like this just in case. I'm gonna do export selection. This is the mocap test. Yes, mocap test. Why is it not an export? Let me see. Export. There we go. Mocap test. Yes. Then we have one more file we need to export after this, and that is going to be our face test. But once we go into the face test file, we are going to add more motion onto the face and then get that exported. And then we'll bring in all 5 of our files, update their files location to get the latest, and then just press play in Unreal, and that should be it. To make sure everything works. And then after we do that, it's going to be fun going forward. We have a lot of things to do so we can get what we want working inside of Unreal now that we have the character working. We'll dive more into some animation stuff. So if we open up animation face tests, we should still have some very subtle motion on there from before. I think the eyebrows and the eyes are moving around and rotating around. But now we should open up the mouth. Also wiggle the nose and puff the cheeks out. Just so we can see that all the controllers are working, and we can see the motion is conveying over well. So let's close that for now. Let's do the cheeks. And we'll do frame 1S, and we'll do that. that. That's all right. We'll also do frame 1 here. We'll do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, cool. Let's open up the mouth. It's the jaw. Yep. All right, so we got key here. Let's do 60, 85. Let's also do these other controllers. Get some keys on these real quick. I think it was 85 that we were on. Yep. And then set a key here. I'm just setting keys right now. I know I might look like a zombie. I am tired, but please, what I'm doing as I'm setting keys on the mouth and the face, you should be doing the same thing on your character. If it's different or if it's the same, set a pose. It could be anything you want. This is to make sure that the face moves and conveys the motion we want over in Unreal. So that's what I'm doing right now. So that's why I'm not really talking. But I just want to reiterate that just in case you're wondering, like, what the hell is he doing? You know, he's not saying anything. I didn't fall asleep with my eyes open. I'm sitting here trying to just put it in a nice pose so we can look at it in Unreal. So you should be doing the same thing. And I'm setting keys on it so I can see it happen over time, so everything's not happening at the same time. That's why I moved ahead 2 seconds in the animation to start messing with opening the mouth and doing things with the mouth, because in the first 2 seconds, I'm doing stuff with the nose and the cheeks. I don't want the mouth to be open while I'm doing that because I want to see how those look when they're playing. And it'll loop when we're in Unreal, so just think about it like that. if you are trying to make it into a believable pose for the mouth, just remember, um, just real subtle. Like the mouth is gonna be really subtle unless you're doing like, hey, like doing like very exaggerated open pose for like yelling or speaking loud. Other than that, it's very subtle. And you gotta keep in mind like where the teeth are in position and stuff like that. But we're gonna go over all of that when we start doing the phoneme phase. Now that this is done, we can actually start doing that in one of the other videos. It's good to have like some selection sets too. We can go into how you make those. It makes everything a lot easier to select and move around. Do I want to do this like this? Let me see. Let's just put them together. Oops, 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 oops. So that doesn't go in like that. So we'll go up, and then I'll move these all back. I'm just trying to go from a nice contrast and pose from what I just had to a different one. It doesn't take much to get it to be be in the right spot. It's having her press her lips together as if she's doing like one of the M's, the P's, or the B's. And then just setting a key on it. I want to see how this holds up. One more thing I want to do with this, see how this looks. Sometimes you gotta break the jaw to make it look right for those type of poses. See these in-betweens that I don't like. I want her mouth to not be like that. So that's why you don't let things interpolate. When you start doing the animation, you need to pay attention to like what the keys are doing, what the frames are doing. Let's see what this looks like if I put this here. That looks better than what it was doing. And then we want to do this, do that, do that, that, copy, paste. That should match the beginning and end. Let's get some tongue motion in there. Let's get some of this in there too. Oh yeah, we still gotta fix that texture on the eye. We fixed the texture of the eyeball, but we need to fix the texture of the upper eyelid, eyelash. That mascara is bleeding. It's bleeding really bad, so we need to fix that. We can fix that in another video though, not right now. But yeah, so I want to lastly get these controllers to have something on them, and then get the save your file. Get those to have something on them, and then I want to get also the tongue out. If she's probably just gonna have enough time to like do like not a licking of the lips, but just something where she sticks the tongue out and then brings it back in before it closes. It's just so we can see that it's working, doing something. I might have her go. So that's fine. Let's get some motion on these right quick. Let's just pair this up with the blink and the cheeks. So you see how that works? Makes it look a little bit more puffy. We can also go out. Oops, did I not set a key on that? I did not. Oh well. It should be able to be zeroed out and then set a key. Yeah, that's weird. How did I not set a key on that? And then just copy this and put that back over there. Paste. That's why it's always good to zero out your transforms, which this does for you automatically once you have everything set up. It resets your X forms on your values for your position and rotation. Because that would have been a nightmare and be like, no, what was that number? You would have had to open up an old file. This is why you never do it this way, but you would have to open up an old file, see what the value was because you didn't zero it out in the first place, put that new value on here, and then you're just going to have a pain of a time throughout your animation experience with that rig unless you go back and fix it. So that's important. Let's do 30. See how it makes the face look more alive? Having those upper cheek ones and the side cheek ones. All right, hit save again. All right, and let's do the tongue. Let's see, this doesn't have to be super complicated. Everybody tries to overcomplicate the face. This is how you set up a face outside of not using morph targets, blend shapes. You know, you'll still be able to get everything you want out of the face. But everybody tries to overdo it. This is a setup I've used on other rigs I created like for years, and it works really well. Let's see. So now let's do the tongue. Let's see, it starts here. Let's start on 75. Oh my god, I have tongue. I was about to say, do I have tongue controllers? I do. I remember I made them these blocks. So there's 3. I just need the first one first to pull out. 2, 3. I think it's right there. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 75 is where we're going to start. Another key, but then we're going to rotate and then come forward a little bit. Is that X? Yeah. X. And then we do the next one. X. I'll rotate that. Just take your tongue controls, rotate them out. If you need to, that's all I'm doing. Sticking your tongue out like that. That's all I'm doing. Nothing crazy. This should show that it works from doing this like this. But then what you got to do is you need to go in and do your in-betweens so it doesn't pass right through the mouth like that, because that's a little unsettling. So we'll do key, key, key. I want this to be what this key is. Open, paste, but we will rotate it up a little bit. All right, let's select all the tongue controllers. Let's copy this one. Let's do paste. We're gonna save this. We're gonna copy another key so we can hold the tongue out a little bit longer. Copy. Let's do paste right there. And then we want to get this frame, copy, and put it back here, paste. All right, do save. And then we will export this out. So once you have your face animation where you want it, grab your rig and your base mesh. This is just an animation for now, so it doesn't matter which one of these you select. Well, it does. Always select the base mesh, but with or without the close, I don't think it matters right now with how it's set up in our Unreal project. So just do export selection, and then we're going to export this and overwrite face test. It's still doing its thing and working. Meanwhile, that should be fine. All right. Let's open up Unreal. Once Unreal is open, we are going to bring our files in. I'm just going to navigate to where the files are located. Everything should be good to go here. So that's good. There we go. So let's go to our library. Double click on our scene. Yes, allow access. I think it just had an update recently. That's why it's asking for that all over again. All right, so let's update our rigs. So bring in, let's bring these in one at a time just to make sure they update. So bring in your rig file. It should update. There you go. Bring in the underwear. There you go. Bring in naked, rig naked. There you go. Now let's save these. File save. Now let's go to animation. We just want to bring in our 3 animations. They should just update. 1, 2. 3. All right, so now those 3 ladies there should still have all their stuff, their animation and stuff. Now let's, you just need to press play. And we'll full screen this. And if you run over to them, there's one doing the mocap. You see her butt's not stretching because we fixed that earlier this time. Here's our facial animation one. That was me moving the camera. That wasn't her jittering. Oops, where did she go? There she is. So you can see her face. Her nose is wiggling. She's sticking out her tongue. She's mashing her lips together. She's puffing her cheeks out. Cool. It holds up and reads really well in here with this lighting. Let's actually turn her. Let's turn all of them so that the light is actually facing them at a better angle. And then click play. So cool. It converts over really well. And then there's one with the idle. That was just a quick shoulder just to make sure it was moving. But there she is. She's all working. All right, cool. And there's your character. Your character should be working in the scene. We updated the rest of the face. Completely read character from start to finish. And even tested mocap on it. And got everything in here. And working in Unreal. I hope you guys and gals and everyone watching have learned something new. I hope this is a very well laid out first step for you guys to get your work into Unreal. This is going to get you one step closer into getting into the games industry. If you already have animation as a background or rigging as a background, you know, I would say go through these videos and do exactly what I just showed you. Get a character, or take your character you already did your animations on, get that character in here, and then if your rig doesn't work, because a lot of the rigs out there don't really work well when you try to get them in the engine. They don't export correctly because of how sometimes a lot of things are either hidden, or when you export, they don't export appropriately because they weren't meant to be used in that way. Do whatever you need to do to get that rig working and in here, and just follow these steps. Even if you have to just take that mesh and re-rig it. If you already have animation background, you're one step closer to seeing the stuff in here. Getting it in here and working, and then setting up some animation trees and some blueprints. That'll be something great to have on your resume. You'll be able to find a job, no problem, if you already have animation under your belt or rigging under your belt, and you apply what I've showed you in all these videos so far. Just practice, 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 so you can do it like it's second nature when you get on the job site, or if you have to do a test, and you'll be good to go. A lot of schools don't even teach you this, how to do this stuff. They teach you how to animate. They teach you what buttons to press. It's up to you to figure out and learn how to be expressive and get your emotion to convey through your animation, really. And then once you do that, if you can get that in here, and then this is what you show on your reel, you're going to be many steps ahead of people who are just going to show play blasts. It'll be a big deal, believe me. So, hope to hear feedback from you guys. Hope to get some messages from you all in case there's anything else you want to see. But I'm going to continue on, and there's a few more things I want to go over with this model. Now that we have it in this state, we're going to go beyond this to get it working and do other things, talking about silhouettes and posing and animation. So, yeah, should be cool. I hope you guys learned something new. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I need to go to work tomorrow. I've been doing all these videos kind of late in my own time, my own free time, or if you can call it free time. But thank you for joining me on this journey. I get a lot of joy out of doing this and helping. And I think this is a really good way for me to give back what I know, instead of like being a teacher through a school or something like that. But this is something that people will be looking forward to on your reel if you have that experience. But please, it's all right here, free. Just look over the videos, have fun. And if you have any questions, just, shoot me a line in the email that's in the description. But good luck, and I'll have more stuff out soon. Thank you. Hope you learned something new. Thanks. Bye.